we're going to go through each character and we're going to decide if they're cool or crap with a K.
Okay.
Both of the Ks?
Yeah, both with Ks.
Okay.
Both with Ks. Okay. Louis Tan as Cole Young. Cool or crap?
It's time to hack the movies with Tony and Justin and somebody else.
Hello, guys.
Hey.
Welcome to Hack the Movies video.
Oh.
This seems an awfully lot like rental reviews now.
I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, Kieran, thank you for coming back.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, the people in Germany are like, oh, good, Kieran's back. But the people in America and the rest of the world are probably like, what do you mean coming back? Kieran's never been on.
Guten Tag.
That's because the only episode Kieran guest hosted got copyright claimed a day later. It was banned in all of the world except for Germany. But where can they find that episode?
On the podcast?
On the podcast feed at hackthemovies.com.
You know what? Hack the Movies does have a podcast where rental reviews did not.
That's true.
So you got that one.
I got that one. And yeah, today, well, you know, we covered a lot of Mortal Kombat movies in the past.
Yeah.
So it was only appropriate for us to get together. Fucking straw. You drink out of a straw the creepiest way possible. Like,
Just staring?
yeah. Anyway, it was only appropriate that we cover the new Mortal Kombat movie. And yeah, we just watched it. We all got together. Newt was there.
Yeah.
And we're like, good, let's watch the new Mortal Kombat movie. And, well, it exists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad. We're going to get into it, but this movie's been in development forever. Mm-hmm. And like 10 years ago, there was a web series, Mortal Kombat Legacy. I think me and you
Was that
watched.
10 years ago?
It was like around 10 years ago. It
Damn.
was a while
Actually, yeah,
ago.
it was like
Wasn't-
2009, I think.
Wasn't Jerry Ryan in that as Sonya Blade?
Yes, well, it started off as
Oh.
like a short film called Rebirth.
On Machinima, was it on?
The series was on Machinima.
I
but
think
like,
the first episode thing came out in 2009, but I think the
Yeah.
actual series came out in like 2011.
yeah. But like
2012,
Rebirth
yeah.
was a weird short film where it was like Mortal Kombat if it was super realistic. And
Yeah.
it was like interesting, but I'm
Yeah,
like,
Baraka had just like implants in
yeah,
his
and
arm.
like Reptile
He was,
just
like-
has a skin disease.
Yeah,
I'm like, well, that's
he had
mean to people with
Harlequin
skin.
ichthyosis.
Oh, he's a Harlequin baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
sad.
So it was interesting, and that turned into a web series. Wasn't in the same continuity, but used the same actors. So like Michael Jai White and Jerry Ryan, and that had 2 seasons. I thought that was really good. I thought that was like a good path for Mortal Kombat. It could have been better.
Had Casper Van Dien in it too.
Yeah, the first Johnny Cage sucked in the show, and then Casper Van Dien came in.
Yeah.
And I really like that. I think Mortal Kombat would work better as a show. And then before this one, I found out that there was a 3rd season that was like almost completely finished. And Cole Young in this movie was an actor in it.
Huh.
And like, so somewhere out there, we get more Casper Van Dien, Johnny Cage. We get more of the guy who plays Shang Tsung. Like, there's this
Yeah.
thing just sitting there that has not seen the light of day. And that made me really sad, especially after we watched this piece of shit. So
Yeah.
that bummed me out. This movie's directed by Simon McQuid. We all know him, right?
No.
He apparently did some commercials, and his only IMDb credit before this is a 1-minute short film, apparently.
I mean, so is a guy who made Johnny Mnemonic, and I love that movie. And, you know, much like with the Monsterverse, they've been throwing mostly a lot of not unknown, but,
Yeah.
you know, directors that did only a few things because then they can control them completely.
Yeah, that's true. And then James Wan produced this. I know you like the Saw movies.
Yeah, I love the Saw movies.
I wasn't the biggest fan of Wan, but I really liked what he did with Aquaman. How he fit like all the Aquaman lore.
Yeah,
into one
Aquaman
movie.
was fun. I had a
Yeah.
good time watching that.
So based off that, I thought, okay, maybe this movie will handle like all the heavy lore and stuff. I wish he would have directed it instead of just produced it. He seemed like he might have been a little bit of a hands-off producer. Yeah, so this is the important one. We got the 3 people who wrote this wonderful thing. We have Oren Uziel. So he did Mortal Kombat Legacy, and he's credited as story, but I think they just used some
They
ideas.
just took ideas.
I think they like just used what he came up with Legacy, and they're like, well, we have to credit him.
And I guess he gets like a paycheck or something.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so the next writer is Greg Russo, who's done nothing. But he is doing the sequel to Death Note on Netflix. We all love that one, right?
I haven't
It's
Pretty bad.
I mean, I'm not like, I like some anime, but I've never really gotten the Death Note, but that movie is...
Aren't like all the Netflix like adaptations of like anime are usually pretty questionable from what I've heard.
Or they revoice them or they change script. Like Evangelion, for example, it's messy.
And then, so then next we have Dave Callahan, who's penned movies like The New Godzilla, The Expendables, and smash hits like Wonder Woman 1984, Zombieland 2, and Doom starring The Rock.
I like that movie.
But as a
I
video,
like Doom.
I like it too, but as a video game adaptation,
I mean, but
I
if
don't
he
think I would.
wrote it, like I can see like, he didn't direct it. He wrote it. So it's like once he's done writing it, he hands it off.
He's also apparently writing Shang-Chi, the new Marvel movie, so
okay.
I can't wait to never watch that.
I'm actually excited about Shang-Chi.
Well, not based off this movie. So yeah, let's get into this piece of shit. How does it open up with Scorpion?
Well, it certainly doesn't open up with Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I guess they were too cool for that.
They never say Mortal Kombat.
The opening of this movie is one of the things that I would say is really good. I think that every part of like the first 10 minutes of the movie is fine.
And you know what? It feels like the Mortal Kombat versus Scorpion episode of Legacy. So.
The blood though is like what is like kind of crazy to see. This movie's real violent.
Yeah,
it's got some really violent like impact in it too.
Yeah, they really nailed like the violence and the gore and the fighting.
Blood is just spraying like it doesn't.
Yeah, and I was excited to see Sub-Zero and Scorpion explored as characters.
Yeah.
Because they haven't in the past, except for last year's movie, Scorpion's Revenge.
Yeah,
which was fucking watch that over this 100%.
I said this earlier, but this movie suffers from the same syndrome as G.I. Joe, the movie did. Yeah, where the live action movie had an animated counterpart, like they had G.I. Joe Resolute, which was awesome, and then the movie comes out, and you're like, ugh.
Yeah. So yeah, we have a really good opening. The Scorpion has the Annihilation tattoo. That's not what it is, but we kept calling it the Annihilation tattoo.
Yeah, it's weird because it's like skin tone colored. It's like it looks like
it's like a scar.
Yeah,
and it makes less sense as it goes on.
Really fucking stupid. Like I'm sorry, but it's like it's one of the stupidest things in this movie is the mark, I think.
Yeah,
by far. It's the logo. It's a fucking logo.
Now, aside from Annihilation, because I don't know much about the Mortal Kombat lore after 3.
Okay.
Especially like, I watched a lot of clips on YouTube for 11, and of course all the characters that are in 10 and 11 are awesome and all that kind of stuff. The horror movie people and RoboCop and whatever. But I don't remember them, like, do they have to be specifically chosen?
No.
Or how is it? Like
not
you can just
really.
show up.
Yeah, so they I guess if they're born with the mark, they are chosen.
Universe,
However, if you kill someone that has the mark,
I mean in the real. I mean in the real lore.
Oh,
No,
there's
you
no
just-
such thing as the mark. They're
You just show up at the island.
they're just fighters that they got. Like,
if you can make it to the tournament, you're in pretty much.
I guess Raiden's like, hey, come on down, or like, hey,
Well, he
open
needs
casting call.
And that's only
he
in
needs
later games, because the original game, Raiden's like, fuck it, I'm going to turn into immortal and fight myself.
No, that's the thing. Like they're looking for anyone who's the best fighter because they're like, hey, we're going to be invaded if we do not win this tournament. So we need anyone who's good.
Mortal Kombat was originally supposed to be like a blood sport thing. Yeah. And there's a lot of what's the Bruce Lee movie?
Enter the Dragon.
Enter the Dragon. So it's kind of like that. You're just the best of the best. You show up and shit gets a little supernatural.
Yeah, it's not this like you've been pre-chosen to be
centuries.
For centuries. So based on your bloodline. They're doing like the new Star Wars. Like, oh no, you can only be a Jedi if you're related to like 2 families. That's it.
My name's Ray. Ray Scorpion.
Oh my god.
So yeah, Scorpion finds his like wife and kid dead. And then he takes out the Lin Kuei.
Yeah.
In an awesome scene.
That scene is really cool.
And we found out his harpoon is a garden trowel.
Yeah, or it was originally a harpoon and she's using it. The wife is using it as a garden trowel.
I like thinking he kind of like put his past to rest and he's trying to like retire, and then they come and
he's trying to get some water for his family.
And
from the
he's
babbling
played by Haruki Sanada. who was in he was one of the Silver Samurais in the Wolverine movie.
Okay.
He was in Avengers Endgame. He's like the guy Hawkeye's fighting, the Yakuza guy.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
he's been in a bunch of stuff. Weird they picked like a guy pushing 60 to play Scorpion, but I guess most of his stuff was a stunt double anyway. But yeah, he's awesome. The Sub-Zero Scorpion fight in the beginning is awesome.
Yeah.
Sub-Zero wins.
Sub-Zero wins.
And leaves, and then Scorpion is about to die, and then he remembers he has a baby who's still alive, which was kind of odd because he's like dead, and then the baby cries, and he just comes back to life. He's like, "Oh, yeah, I can't die."
And then he just crawls for like 4 or 5 feet, and then
and
really
then,
dies,
and then just blows up in fire.
Yeah, he gets sent to the Netherrealm like right away.
But he doesn't get pulled down. He doesn't melt. He just
he turns into a bunch of fire.
I don't know why. So usually in like the continuity in the games, like Quan Chi or Shang Tsung or both are posing as Sub-Zero.
Yeah, well, that was
so
like
they can
a
trick him to go to
kind of thing.
Yeah,
that came in about like.
So I thought maybe like that's what's happening. I'm like, why would his body just turn into fire?
I never liked that though. I like the idea that like Sub-Zero is just evil. You know?
Yeah, and I like the original
guy.
idea that his outfit was yellow because that's the color of like cowardice. So he was mocking Sub-Zero, but that's also been retconned out where it's just like they're two clans. Yeah, and then Raiden just shows up and takes the baby, I guess.
Yeah, Raiden.
Yeah, the baby's hiding under the floorboard. The mom put him there, and they're frozen and dead now, I guess.
It's a good thing that baby didn't decide to cry at any other moment because Sub-Zero would probably just kill the baby too.
The baby was real quiet.
But it's like the baby stays quiet while the whole family gets slaughtered.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, 5 minutes after Scorpion's dead, it's like, whoa! And it just yells.
Then Raiden takes the baby,
and then
and then he throws it down a mountain.
Yeah, it's so cute.
So cute. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Kung Pao is a way better movie than
Kung
Mortal
Pao is a
Kombat.
million times better than this.
And I want to also preface this. I really didn't want to come into this and be like negative on the. I don't like ripping apart movies, but this movie, like,
I was hyped
for
this.
Super just. I mean, and it had awesome moments. It had some really great parts in it, but then it just had some parts where you're just like, why the fuck would you do that?
This is a kind of movie where all the good stuff went right in the trailer, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then you got your HBO Max subscription. Wham bam, that's it.
So then we meet everyone's favorite Mortal Kombat character,
Johnny
Cole Young.
Okay, Cole Young is his name.
Yes.
I kept forgetting what his last name was. I was just like Cole something.
Cole, like C-O-L-E?
C-O-L-E.
Yeah, C-O-L-E.
Cole Young. This is the dumbest goddamn
He's
thing.
completely unnecessary in any way.
And they're like, so what they said was, the way they tried to justify it is like, oh, well, there's all this lore and all these characters. It might be overwhelming for new people watching. So we need a character that the audience can connect with. And it reminds me of the first Hellboy. They have that like FBI guy you're following.
Yeah.
Because he's basically like your intro to the world. But like, why did they, you could have just used any character. Johnny Cage could have filled that part.
Yeah.
Liu Kang could have filled that part. Literally, any character could have filled that part.
They make you feel like Sonya Blade is more of a main character in this. They should have just went that route.
Yeah, why not? Like, just anyone other than making up a stupid fucking character no one liked.
And a lowbrow MMA fighter guy
who gets his ass kicked in the first. I wouldn't even
minded him being Johnny Cage.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if Johnny Cage is half Asian. It doesn't bother me. I would have minded. I would have been fine.
I was saying you could have done the angle where, like, instead of Johnny Cage being a Hollywood asshole big shot in like the 90s kind of a thing, you make him some YouTuber guy like a Jake Paul. Like, he's flaunting his shit. He doesn't really deserve to be in it, but he's a great fighter, and then he has to learn his merits kind of a thing.
Yeah, like Jake Paul.
Like Jake Paul, who, I don't really want to talk about that.
You know what really sucks with this intro? Like, as they're showing him, there's a poster for a Johnny Cage movie.
Yeah.
And it's just showing you, like, what you could have had, but they're like, nope, you get this instead. You get fucking Cole Young, who we all called right away is, like, Scorpion's, like, great-great-great-grandson.
Yeah, he's a descendant of Scorpion.
He's like, oh, I'm putting yellow pads on. And then his daughter, who I thought was just a younger sister, but I guess it's his daughter, is like, I made you this black and yellow bracelet. It's like, okay, he's
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Are you Scorpion's descendant?
I don't know. Do I have the dragon mark? No, I don't.
Also, I thought the show's red and white now. What's with the black and yellow?
We haven't made new shirts yet.
Oh, I guess we got to do that.
But we do have a lot of shirts in our merch store, which there's a link in the description. You can get that now. Anyway. So he's an MMA guy. He gets this. By the way, I think this is the only one-on-one fight he has.
Yeah.
Maybe one later, but that's more practice than it is a fight. And he gets his ass kicked.
Yeah.
And Jax is there.
Yeah, Jax comes in and he's like, nice dragon tattoo, man. Where'd you get it?
Yeah. Oh, no. Before that, he does do that. But before that, we just cut to Outworld.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like everything's been on Earth.
And it's weird because there's literally, in all of Outworld, there's no buildings. Like, whenever
Outworld
they show a
is
scene,
so barren, it's just and bland.
Yeah, like Shang Tsung's throne is on this precipice.
Yeah.
That's just in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, it's on a precipice with giant doors blocking it.
Yeah.
It just
with no awning, so if it rains, he's got to run all the way down the bridge.
Which that's what I'm saying. Or maybe it doesn't rain in Outworld, but I guess that's the reason why they want Earthrealm so much is because they're like, wow, look at all the buildings in Earthrealm. Like we can go inside something.
I'm thinking of like the '95 movie. You only saw Outworld for a little bit.
Yeah.
And
but it was way more.
Yeah, they clearly filmed in some like rundown location and threw up some statues, but there was like an effort to make it look like
this was just deserts and
this movie is 20-something years after like fucking Lord of the Rings.
Oh, it has there's this planet in the background kind of thing, or whatever, which was kind of neat. But
you can't make a more like lively world. Like how many fucking Marvel movies have like alien worlds and stuff?
Like even
this is just we went to the desert and color corrected it to look great.
In not Endgame, but Infinity War when they go to Titan, and how that looked like, even though it was desolate, it looked like at least there was something there. There was no buildings in like any shot that they show of Outworld.
This kind of goes back to a major problem I have with this movie is that a lot of the editing is really fucking subpar.
Oh, there's some awful, actual like real bad editing,
and a lot of things just happen for no reason. Or you're sitting there as an audience, and it takes you out of the movie because you're like, "Oh, they put in that character because they know they can kill him right away." "Oh, they did this scene, but it didn't pay off." "Oh, this is boring." "Oh, this sucks." "Oh, this or that." And when you go to Outworld, it's just like, meanwhile on Outworld, you're like, "That was where did that come from?"
And it's just them. It's usually Melina walking places or someone else walking somewhere, and that's it. And they're always just walking nowhere.
It's like episode 2.
Yeah.
Oh, Shang Tsung is played by, where I have it here, Chin Han from The Dark Knight. He was Lao, the guy, the Joker, or the guy that Batman like goes to Hong Kong to get.
Yeah.
And Melina is apparently from the Children of the Corn remake that came out last year. That I didn't know
there was a Children of the Corn remake.
Neither did I, because I was looking up like where I know all the other actors from. I'm like, there's a new fucking Children of the Corn.
I liked Melina. I thought what was cool about her is like her face looks like messed up. Like it's not like how Melina is in the game. Like it's more like her face has like fucking like wounds, and then there's a part where she actually opens her mouth and it's tearing her mouth open. So it's like she's always healing.
Yeah, but there's no explanation. It's not like, oh, they're from this other world.
Yeah,
oh,
it's weird you would throw Melina in here without Katana or explaining what a Tarkatan is.
Not for anything, but there's a character, there's Natara in this movie.
Oh yeah, later
and it's
on.
Like, why? Yeah. Why is it Natara? Like, no one, first off, knows who Natara is.
Yeah. Oh,
and they're like, if they're sitting there going, it might be weird for new people coming in, so let's have Cole in here. But then you add Natara, and it's like she's in one game, and it's like,
can you remember who Cole Young beat to win his title belt?
Oh yeah, Eddie. What was it? Eddie Tobias.
Eddie Tobias,
which was a nice little. There's a lot of like little nods here and there that are kind of neat. If the movie was
better, I would have appreciated those nods. But I feel like those nods were put in to like be like, oh, the fans are gonna be angry. Let's do something.
Because that's like Ed Boon and John Tobias.
Yeah.
And like, there's so many, especially when you go to Sony's Hangout later or whatever, there's so many references to other parts in the series and games that only hardcore dedicated fans would get. They wanted to make this movie like this intro, like you're saying, with Cole Young and stuff, and then have all this other deep lore shit.
Well, like we were saying too, there was the part with the graffiti, and it's down forward low punch, which, because he's fighting Sub-Zero, so it's like, oh, Sub-Zero's freeze, but it's like, who the fuck is, like, yo, we're the down forward low punch gang, and we're gonna tag our, this building. Like, why would you ever tag down forward low punch?
So Sub-Zero shows up to go kill them.
Yeah.
Because apparently there's a prophecy about Scorpion's bloodline is gonna help Earth.
But he doesn't know that guy is part of the bloodline. He's just going after anyone.
Oh, I guess he's just going.
No, because he doesn't find out until later.
That's true.
When I forget when. Like later on,
goes to attack him. Jax saves them, sends them to Sonya.
That scene though, when Sub-Zero's walking in and everything's snowing, and he like raises up all the ice and then smashes it down, and there's just a normal guy coming out of the restaurant who gets destroyed by ice. It's hilarious.
I said in the Darkman review, I love when random passerbys get killed in movies.
I felt so bad, and it was right in front of Cole's daughter, so she just saw this dude just get smashed by like a bunch of hailstones.
They ruined a burger stand.
Yeah.
But that fight is okay between Jax and Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
I like the shooting the gun and freezing it as like all the pellets are going everywhere, and then he just rips fucking Jax's arms off.
That scene was probably one of the most brutal scenes where he shatters Jax's arms and then throws him down this hole.
And we were like, oh no, he can't break his fall.
Yeah, on the way down he smashes and like his one arm shatters even more.
Sub-Zero wins.
Like there's some really good attention to detail, and then there's parts that just throw the attention to detail completely out.
For a movie with a lot of, for us who are more like purists about, have real blood, and well, not real blood, but like practical effects and stuff. Like the CG effects in this were pretty good.
Yeah, they were decent
sometimes.
Yeah.
This is reminding me of Alien vs. Predator Requiem, where they're like, we'll have gore this time. That's the only thing that was wrong with the last one, right? And it's like, no.
And then they make an even worse movie.
And then they made a worse movie.
Well, it's like G.I. Joe also. The first G.I. Joe was pretty bad, but like when you watch the second one, I think the first one was like fine.
Yeah, so then they go to Sonya Blade.
Oh, remember, they all forget about Jax.
Oh, yeah, they all just forget about Jax.
They're like, oh, where is he? Oh, he's fighting Sub-Zero. Anyway.
Oh, no, Cole Young's like, I gotta go talk to the Sonya Blade. Bye, wife and daughter.
He ditches his family somewhere.
Yeah, he like... That's like a problem. Like everyone cares about Jax until they don't.
Yeah.
And Cole cares about his family until he doesn't. And they very conveniently forget these characters until they just show up in a room like, oh, there's so and so.
Yeah.
So the brilliant Cole Young meets Sonya, played by the chick from The Meg, who I actually liked. So everyone's cast. I thought everything was cast pretty well. I just think they were thrown into a shit movie.
Yeah.
There was no actor where I was like, "Fuck them," except for Cole, because that was more the character than the actor.
I liked Sonya. I thought she's a good Sonya.
I thought she was pretty good. So she's basically doing more exposition dump, and then we get like nods to Kotal Khan, Nightwolf, and who was the other one?
Motaro, I think.
Motaro.
Yeah, there was a vase. With
There's like
Motaro
a vase with like a centaur on him, and she introduces him to Kano, who in this version is some guy who killed a champion and got the mark.
Yeah, he slit his throat.
And is the best character in the movie.
Pretty much.
So Kano's been my favorite. This isn't me being biased because it's just my favorite character. The characters in this are so fucking terrible that Kano's like the one bright spot that you can like.
Was it you who dressed up as Kano for Halloween as a kid? Who was that?
I dressed up as not as a kid, like in 2012. Yeah.
Well, I would say we're all still children, really.
Man children.
So she's holding him like hostage because she needs him to get to the tournament.
Line after line from Kano is gold. It's always funny.
Yeah, he doesn't have the metal plate on his eye, which I was bummed about.
No.
But then also, this is like when we realized, I think early on in the script, this was Johnny Cage.
Yeah, and then I guess what was it? It seems like he was supposed to be Johnny Cage, and then they just made him into Kano
because it's weird seeing Sonya not hate Kano.
Yeah,
because like every other origin, it's like
Kano's
he killed her. Yeah, he killed her partner, and she wants revenge on him. So suddenly she's like, "Oh, this wacky guy! I got him locked up.
Yeah,
hope he takes me to that thing." It's like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
But they get attacked by Reptile.
Yeah, but he's more like the Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance Reptile, like where he's a full-on lizard man.
Yeah, there's got to be a delicate like I liked.
Yeah, and who sent?
Shang Tsung did.
How's he know that they're there?
He just told Melina to send the reptilians after her.
But how did they know? Like, it's not like you saw a scene when, like, Reptile was with Sub-Zero and they chased Cole down and followed him. they just show people just fucking show up in this movie.
It's like Raiden's like a god, so you give him a pass. I guess Shang Tsung's a sorcerer.
He's a sorcerer.
Oh, he just drops reptiles.
Anytime something like that happens, a wizard.
Literally a wizard did it. Yeah, I like the Mortal Kombat 4 or the Mortal Kombat 10 reptile, where it's like it's still a lizard, but it's in human shape.
He's humanoid.
Yeah, I don't like when he's too much of a lizard.
This is like he's a bit of a scaly.
But then we realize maybe he hasn't been thrown into a statue full of bugs yet. So that's why he never gets his reptile outfit. Because as we all know, reptiles are lizards that you throw into a statue full of bugs and then they become people. Is that in the official canon?
I don't know, actually. I don't know where that came from. I don't know why they decided that even in the original one.
Apparently they added him like in reshoots and they had to figure out a way to make him a person. That's what they came up with.
At least I will say this, the CG on Reptile is way better than the CG on the original Reptile in the 90s.
Oh, 100%.
He looked like something from Beast Wars.
The CG on Reptile was way better than Goro later.
I don't think Goro looked bad.
I thought Goro looked fine. What I thought didn't look good were certain parts, like when Kung Lao first comes in later.
Oh, yeah.
And he pops up from the floor. That looked like shit.
There's some rough scenes,
that looked worse than the actual video game. Yeah. Like he's super stiff, and you could tell he was animated. It wasn't motion captured or anything. So,
but what is cool is Kano finally does his fatality in a movie.
Yeah,
he like just straight up rips Reptile, and he even goes Kano wins, which sounded cheesy in the trailer, but once you see like what this character's like, it kind of works. You're like, all right, yeah, it works for that guy.
Yeah, he's Australian, and all Australians are funny.
Yeah, that's right, Justin. All Australians are funny. Every single one of them, right?
Mel Gibson especially.
He's not really Australian, though. I thought he was.
Yeah, I think he's Australian.
Is he?
He was born in New York, but he pretty much grew up in Australia.
Oh, okay.
I think his dad might be Australian.
Huh.
Kano decides to join them on their adventure, and he hawks a loogie onto a gnome.
Yeah, which almost legit made me throw up. I can't do boogers and
no, I'm the same way,
and loogies and snot and shit on stuff.
Yeah.
Like when they showed. I'm like thinking of it's like making me feel like really sick.
I have to bring it up because it actually comes up later in the movie.
Yeah, it's like my eyes are tearing up.
Okay, we'll talk about it.
It's like the stabbing eyeballs to Tony.
So then we go to like the order of
now you know what? Don't put that in. Because now everybody's gonna be fucking sending me loogies and shit like that.
So remember like the first Mortal Kombat movie, The Order of the Light? They like actually went to like Asia and filmed that cool temple and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, now the Order of the Light is in a desert.
Yeah.
And it's just a series of caves.
The Order of the Light's in the dark.
Yeah.
In a dark cave. That's powered by Zordon's capsule
what
thing.
The fuck was that
I think that was like electricity.
It looked like shit. They're all underground, and that thing's making it all light underground.
Yeah, but it looked stupid.
I guess.
And you know what? It's like they do a shot where they show like what the inside looks like, and it's like this big city, but it feels like a video. A lot of the sets in this feel like video games where like only this portion is interactive and everything else is just like a skybox.
Yeah.
That's what this felt like. Like I never felt like I was in a real world at any moment.
There's also dumb shit like he knows how to get through a GPS, but then they parachute 30 miles away.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that
and
either.
that doesn't make sense. And then
and
you're introduced to Kano's mom who flies the plane there.
Was that his mom or just someone he knew?
I think it was just someone he knew.
She was Australian.
I don't think it was his mom.
And then they
Kano's mom.
Yeah, and then they just bump into Liu Kang. Minor character Liu Kang.
Which
just a supporting character, really, if you ask me.
I thought it was okay though that he's like the guy to train them. Like he's someone that like I guess Raiden knew for a while, and he's gonna train them on their way.
It's just weird, like they didn't make him the main character again.
Yeah.
And then he hits Kano with a fireball, which makes Kano go, "You hit me? How did you do that? I want to do that." Like, and that's when you start finding out that everyone has X-Men powers.
Yeah, that's the weirdest thing. Is like if you have a mark, you get powers like an X-Man
that unlock
that you have to unlock.
It's more like the Incredibles.
I guess
to a degree. I mean, I guess both are the same thing.
It feels like the new. Actually, speaking of which. Liu Kang is Zack from the new Power Rangers movie. It feels like the Power Rangers movie where everyone is waiting to get their powers.
I didn't like that
minutes.
either. I honestly hated the new Power Ranger movie.
Yeah.
I feel bad about that one, but I fucking hated that movie.
But yeah, they made Liu Kang the weird exposition guy. He brings him to the temple. We get more like murals of the great Kung Lao. We get Shao Kahn, but it's Mortal Kombat 11 Shao Kahn with the stupid helmet. Who else? I think they hand it to Sindel.
Yeah, I didn't see that. I think one of you guys said it.
And then for no reason, Katana's fan is just there.
Yeah.
And then Kano grabs the time amulet, which should be the most important thing in all of existence. It's just hanging out. You just grab it.
Oh, I thought it was Shinnok's amulet.
Wasn't that the time thing?
I thought it was just his.
I thought it was the time one that Raiden has.
They're very confusing, like 10, 11. I wouldn't think about it.
Either way, I know that amulet is like super important and it shouldn't just be out on display. Like it should probably be like in a box, like hidden away somewhere. Raiden finally meets our heroes and he hates all of them.
Yeah.
Raiden's kind of an asshole.
Yeah, he really is a dick.
Everybody's kind of an asshole, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, Liu Kang and Kung Lao is an asshole.
Yeah, he shows up here.
Yeah, everyone's an asshole in this movie.
Yeah. And then, like, but, like, Kano, the biggest asshole, is the only one who doesn't seem like an asshole.
He's the only one who I don't mind being an asshole because it's funny.
He's being a jerk to everyone.
Yeah.
Like, he's giving Raiden, like, Raiden electrocutes him, does some exposition, and then Kano's like, what did I miss? He, like, wakes up. But yeah, Sub-Zero just attacks because in this world you can just attack whenever you want. Like, but by the way,
so this is a Mortal Kombat movie. This is a Mortal Kombat tournament where there's no tournament. You can just fight whenever you want.
Yeah,
you show up. It's not like a sanctioned match with a crowd.
I was so confused. Like, my complaint with the original movie is that the tournament really makes no sense. We never know who's winning. There's all these extra people, and it's like, well, do they all have fights? Like, it didn't make any sense. In this one, I didn't even know if a tournament was happening.
Yeah.
I thought it was at one point, and you're like, no.
It'd be great if they had the giant tower where their names go up and stuff.
Yeah, something like that.
Cole Young.
Yeah, so whatchamacallit, Kung Lao shows up in that stupid effect, like you said. I know it's from the game, but it looked stupid.
Really weird.
And then Shang Tsung looked weird. It looked like he was slowly dying the whole movie. Like his eyes are black, his teeth are black.
Yeah, the first time you see him, he looks just normal, and then the next time you see him, his face is all dirty and stuff.
I think they were trying to do a thing where he then steals souls later and then gets refreshed. But then in this movie, you know what? I kind of feel like they're going to release an extended cut later, and they purposefully cut things out so that they can be like, oh, here's the super version that's now on HBO Max because now the Snyder Kit did so good. Yeah. So I feel they're just like dropping 20 minutes on the floor.
Everybody's doing that though. Like,
yeah,
just put out
because there's edits in this movie where it's like, whoa, what happened there?
Just release an extended. So it used to be like I liked like the early to mid 2000s, like on DVD, like. Movies would get chopped up in the theater, and then you would just get the extended cut on DVD. Yeah. It wasn't like a big deal. They're like, hey, look, we chopped it down to get an R rating. Here's the actual movie. But now it's just give it to us right now. It's already streaming. Who cares?
It felt like they tried to shoehorn way too much into this movie.
Yeah.
And it's just less than... It's honestly, too, what's weird is that the movie is like an hour and 40 minutes, but then there's like... legit like 15 to 20 minutes of credits.
Yeah, with there's nothing after the credits
and there's no letting you guys know there ain't nothing after the credits, so don't
not
sit and watch afterwards because we sat and watched them.
And then Kung Lao, I get he's a great stuntman.
Yeah,
he's probably a great stuntman. He was a terrible actor.
Yeah, he was pretty bad.
He looked like I've seen Mortal Kombat fan films with better acting, to be honest.
There was something he said and I can't remember what the hell it was, but it just came off as like the most corny line I've ever heard in my life. And the way he delivered it was just so like...
He had this like Bruce Lee kind of look where his head would always be down to the side, like a Bruce Lee kind of thing.
The name is Kung Lao, descendant of the great Kung Lao, the grand champion of the Order of Light. Never heard of it.
Yeah. Oh, and apparently the Order of the Light are really into cybernetics.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because there's another scene where they walk by a room and they're like, oh, there's Jax. I guess they brought him there.
But he's got his robot arms are like floppy still.
Real
like
tiny.
They're like skeleton arms.
I remember because the Order of the Light built the cybernetic arms. Yeah. And it's like, oh, they can do that?
Yeah, they just...
That's not the origin of his arms.
They also don't, like we were saying earlier, they just forget about Jax for the longest time, and you're wondering where the hell he is, and then he just is already at the temple. They went and got him, and they just kind of tell you when you find out.
This is like a Mortal Kombat property where in Mortal Kombat, your characters either have magic powers, outworldly, they're just big monsters, or it's some sort of like technical thing, like you have gadgets and you have guns or anything like that. In this, like humanity doesn't have the like special forces tech. you know, like Sonya Blade's rings or Jax's arms.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh, the monks.
The magic did it. Mortal Kombat magic did it.
Yeah, you have to. What do they call it? Something like the Ankana or something, and it's like
because all right, so they have like a training thing, and Kung Lao beats the shit out of Cole Young.
Yeah,
which I loved every minute of.
And the whole thing is they have to discover their inner powers that they have.
And Liu Kang kicks Kano's ass, and
they piss him off at dinner time.
Yeah, well, before that, Liu Kang is telling Cole like how he got his power.
Oh yeah,
and he's like, yeah, I got one of the people with the mark was like a human trafficker, and I killed him, and I took his thing, and then I released my whatever.
There's a lot of scenes where we had to rewind this because we couldn't hear what the hell they were saying.
We couldn't hear what they were saying, or like things would go by so fast.
Yeah. Also, there were a lot of times we had to rewind it because we weren't sure if the editing was as bad as we thought it was, and then we were like, "No, it is actually." And it's not the whole thing, and you know, like, but there's like legit problems with some of the editing.
Oh
like, I need to explain that. Like, I'm not trying to be like snooty patootie editor boy, but there are legit. Anybody could watch this movie and see like,
there's some film student shit, like they break the 180 line over and over
horribly
again. They cut to the like there's continuity mistakes constantly.
There's a part too right in the beginning where it's when Cole and Kano and Sonya are outside of her like trailer home, and Cole does something, and then they cut to a shot of like Sonya over here and Cole here, and he has a completely different face. He's standing a different way, like things like that. Like they don't cut to a shot that's similar in any way. And I know a lot of movies do that, but this is super noticeable. Yeah. It's
release the combat cut.
It's combat time.
And that's cut with a K.
Oh, yeah.
So Kano's power is his laser eye.
Which is stupid, too, because
I like how he discovered it, though. He's just yelling at Kung Lao. He's being super racist and offensive, which I think the movie wants us to hate him. But again, he's the only actor in this movie with personality.
He wasn't, like, saying anything, like,
not like
extremely racist, though. It was just, like, I mean, he was making, like, poor taste jokes, for sure, but at the same time, like, everybody's an asshole, and you also don't really like most of the characters you're supposed to in this movie because they're just lame.
But then that's the origin of his laser, but not his metal eye.
Well, his eye gets scratched and it's red from Reptile.
Yeah.
And I thought that might have something to do with it, like his anger got focused into it or something.
Yeah.
Also, the laser looks really dumb because you could tell, like, they first off, you know, you don't see it coming out of his eye. You see him turn to the side, and the laser is just like animated next to his head.
It's like a dark side power beam. What was that called? It's that.
The Omega beam.
Yeah, the Omega beam.
Yeah. It's not as cool as the Omega.
Yeah, and then there's another thing where there was no human technology, so Kano just didn't have this black market laser eye.
But it's like he didn't have the laser eye thing until Mortal Kombat 3. That was his fatality.
You know what this reminded me of? This reminded me of
It's just red.
Yeah.
This reminded me of the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies, where they were doing this thing where all the bad guys were going to come out of Oscorp. It's like the lizard.
Yeah, they had like the Insidious 6 kind of thing.
The Sinister 6. Yeah, like
Insidious 6 is the 90s cartoon.
But like freaking what you call it? Lizard came from Oscorp.
Yeah.
Green Goblin Oscorp, Electro Oscorp, and then in Spider-Man 2, the guy goes into the basement and it's like Dr. Octopus, the Vulture Wings, the symbiote. It's like, oh, so is this the bad guy factory? This feels like this. Where like they're stripping all these characters of their uniqueness, and it's like, oh, this is just the power you were assigned. I'm like, oh, I thought, like, you know...
Yeah, but then it also gets... We'll talk about it later, but when it gets to Jax's power, that's when it starts getting...
His is the dumbest thing ever. Actually, I don't know what's dumber, if it's him or it's Cole Young.
Raiden tells Cole that he's, like, Scorpion's descendant, which we all knew.
Yeah, like, but he's like, I was hoping that you wouldn't be such a little bitch.
Yeah, he's like, you are. Suck.
Basically, like he's just like, get the fuck out of here.
He puts the electricity portal. He's like, get out, leave.
Yeah, he's like, go home and be a family man.
Go home,
go home and be a family man.
My favorite part is he's like looking at his phone and he's just like hanging out down there. And I'm like, I guess they're saved on his phone, but I was hoping they have like 5G down there in the Tower of Light.
He's looking at like pictures of his family.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we forgot the part that you know, when Shang Tsung and the boys come down to mess with them, Raiden erects a portal?
He puts a big portal. Yeah, we glossed over it. A shield.
A force field.
Yes.
Around the place where they can't get in, and it's like, okay, why not? Like when Sub-Zero, Melina, and Shang Tsung came to fight them, just kill him. There's like 10 of you guys, even if you're not powerful.
Yeah.
But then that gives Shang Tsung time to go back and raise his little army.
Yeah. With Shang Tsung, he does recruit some people. The like you said, Kieran, fan favorite Natara.
Yeah, which Natara was the worst.
And then, of course, who could forget Reiko?
Yeah, Reiko.
Well, obviously, we all know Reiko.
But
when I play Mortal Kombat 4, Reiko all day long.
He's not anything like what Reiko is in any of the games. He didn't have a hammer in any of the games.
No, he did. Because in some of the games, he's supposed to be like... there was a controversy where they were like, "Oh, is he the real Shao Kahn?"
In the Mortal Kombat 4, his ending is he walks into a portal and then he sits in a throne and then the helmet comes down.
And then later games were like Shao Kahn hates him because he knows that he wears his helmet and like grabs his hammer when he's not looking.
But it's like Reiko is first off in the game, he's one of the most generic looking dudes ever. He has one of those shoulder pad things. He's got his road warrior
and this
makeup.
One, it's
and he
former wrestler. Nathan Jones, who was the big guy in Troy, and he was Rictus in Mad Max Fury Road, and then so we've gotten like 2 minor characters no one will miss. So then the movie's like, oh well, we need a third minor character no one will care that if they get killed off randomly. So they pick Prince Goro. Yeah. Because when I think of throwaway henchmen, I think clearly the second to last boss in the first game. Yeah. That's a throwaway henchman. Just toss him to the side.
And the Prince of whatever the hell they're called.
Prince of Shokan.
And Cabal's there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cabal.
yeah, okay.
Who Cabal
Second
sounds
best
like
character. Cabal.
Oh, yeah. But his voice acting sounds like a Ninja Turtle villain.
Yeah.
Like he sounds like Rocksteady.
So Cabal is someone who was screwed over by Kano, which is from the games, I think. Kano's the reason he's like that.
Yeah.
And he hates Kano, and he's like
Kano. Yeah, he's the reason I live in an iron lung. He's a low-life piece of shit scumbag. You're gonna love him.
I would have loved a Kano and Cabal movie. If they made a Kano and Cabal spin-off, I would watch that.
That's a fun name, Kano and Cabal.
Kano and Cabal.
Like Hobbs and Shaw.
or like a Starsky and Husk. Starsky and Husk. I actually invented Cabal.
You invented Cabal? Yeah.
So when Cabal came out, well, kids are looking at the magazines and stuff, and everyone back in elementary school, oh, my dad works at Nintendo and stuff. For some reason, I was telling kids I came up with Cabal, we're all just lying and shooting the shit to each other, and I just remember that someone's like, no, you didn't. I'm like, oh yeah, I did, and he runs fast, like Sonic or something like that.
Like Sonic.
And you prove I didn't come up with Cabal.
I can't prove it. I can't prove it. I think Shawn Michaels was supposed to be in Mortal Kombat 2.
Yeah. Apparently, they say that there's
it's hidden in the code, but then people wonder if that was just a test for the WrestleMania game. What I'm saying is Shawn Michaels should have been in this movie, but modern day Shawn Michaels, that would have been pretty good.
I think I'm cute.
Yeah, so Cabal goes to the temple because apparently you just walk into the temple.
Yeah.
Why didn't he put the force field over the entire temple?
How about you close the door?
It's over just one room too.
And
most of the temple can be walked into.
Yeah.
And not just that, you can talk through the force field. It's like a Star Trek brig kind of thing. So Cabal comes up and it's just like, hey, Kano, you want to
be friends again?
Do you want to betray everybody? And he's like, crikey, yes.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
So he shoots Raiden's staff with his laser.
With his laser eye.
Which turns off the force field.
Yeah.
Yes. And now all the bad guys show up, and now it's a problem because they didn't nip it in the bud earlier.
Yes, and Goro. Well, when I think Goro, I think of Goro's lair from the first game. Remember that cool lair with the skeletons and stuff? Fuck that. Let's see Goro outside of a barn.
Yeah.
That's what I want. I want to see Goro.
He goes to fight the washed out loser, Cole Young.
Yeah, which is so stupid because they send Natara and Cabal and Melina and Shang Tsung to go fight everyone else. And they're like, hey, send Goro, our strongest possible guy.
I guess because Goro's the strongest and they know Cole has the scorpion blood. So
I thought they don't really find that out until way later. Raiden knows, but I don't think anyone else knows.
I think Shang Tsung might know.
Because I thought what's his name? Sub-Zero keeps saying there is no prophecy and it's not real.
Well, Sub-Zero, Shang Tsung believes in it. Sub-Zero doesn't.
So why are they? Because it's not a tournament. Why are they going around and one-on-oneing people? Why don't all the bad guys go, hey, we're showing up to Cole's house and we're killing his whole family?
That's true.
Why is Shang Tsung just going around taking people's souls?
So I know Outworld cheats and stuff. I'm I'm fine with that. But like they're doing shit where like in the games, it's like shouldn't the Elder Gods be like, hey, fuck you guys, go to the island and fight. You're not allowed to do this.
There's a side part where
the tournament exists to stop shit like this happening.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
Yeah, like the tournament's supposed to, I guess they're going to build it up to the next movie or something, but there was no tournament in this.
In the original movie,
I don't know.
There's the scene where, they're on the boat and Scorpion and Sub-Zero come in and they're going to fight. And then Raiden comes in and he's like, you're not allowed to, no.
Your sideshow freaks attack my fighters. That is expressly forbidden before the tournament, as your emperor well knows.
My sincere apologies.
Yeah.
But and in this one they're like, oh, it's totally cool.
I was just saying.
Yeah. No, but in this one they're just like, oh yeah, you can totally just attack each other before the tournament.
Yeah, and not just that, if you kill someone who's supposed to be in the tournament, you take their place.
Yeah, which makes very little sense to me.
Yeah. But then there's no actual tournament, so it doesn't matter.
How do you become a chosen if you're chosen? But then someone could just kill you and take it. It's so dumb.
So there's like 10 fights happening right now.
Yeah.
Raiko beats the shit out of Jax because he has tiny robot arms.
Yeah, but
and then what you call it? Kung Lao is fighting Natara and does his fatality on her, which is pretty brutal.
Her. She's just
that one's good.
Yeah. And then Liu is fighting Cabal, which I thought was an okay fight.
He surfs her into the buzzsaw.
Yeah,
and just. It's good. That was awesome.
And then they keep cutting to the Cole Goro fight, and I'm like, wow, this is a really cool Goro, and it's being wasted on this fucking fight.
And Cole fights Goro with a crowbar.
He does. He does.
It doesn't really do too good though. I must have been made of crows.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't work.
Also, he needs assistance in this.
Yeah.
So this guy is supposed to be like the ultimate fighter. He needs his wife and daughter to help him out.
His wife hits Goro with an axe and does more damage to Goro than he did
drives
the entire
a truck
time.
into him.
Yeah, like she's kicking the shit out of Goro.
Yeah, and then his power turns on.
And okay, so this entire movie, the entire time I'm watching it, all I could think of is it reminds me of like, oh, me and my friends are playing Mortal Kombat and we're little kids or whatever, and we're doing make believe and stuff like that. And one kid's like, I'm Liu Kang and I can do Liu Kang stuff, and then one kid goes, well, I'm a different character. My name's Cole Young, and I have invincibility powers, and you can't like do because all of a sudden he has this. Yeah, like and then you're like, dude, you can't do that. And he's like, no, I can. He's a real character.
Yeah, he has super armor.
Yeah, so it's like Colossus.
It looks dumb as fuck.
Yeah.
It makes no sense because, like, okay, Liu Kang can do certain things and that's cool and everything. It makes sense. Kano can just shoot a laser out of his eyeball, and this guy's like, "Oh, I can turn my skin into armor and also make."
It's not even his skin. It grows
but it's like,
and it's supposed to be metal.
Yeah, it's supposed to be metal.
So he kills Goro. And by the way, he stabs Goro in the eye. Terrible death.
Stabbing eyeball.
The fact that they made Goro just a throwaway henchman, like, offends me to my core. And, like, there's no mention of him being a champion from a previous tournament or anything. No mention that he killed the original Kung Lao. Yeah. So fucking stupid.
No,
but
they made him just a
I think Newt said he's like Bane and Batman and Robin. Like they took this like really big character and just a minor character.
He doesn't get kicked and punched in the balls.
Yeah, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't get punched in the balls at all.
$500 sunglasses, asshole.
And then I'll come back to like what the other characters are doing. But like Cole hugs his daughter afterwards, and we saw the rubber suit buckling.
You could see. Well, not only could you see the rubber suit buckling, you could see where the seam is.
Yeah,
and you see through it,
and
like
it's
it bends.
Awful.
And you can literally see that it's just a piece of rubber.
Wait, what the fuck do you guys know about otherworldly magic? Maybe that's just how it is.
So that's what I thought, but it was like, but then he's like, I thought maybe
sometimes it's CGI, like when it's glowing orange. So I think the idea was wear the suit, we'll touch it up with CGI, and then they just didn't.
But that's what I don't get is like, is it supposed to be like it's just clothing, or is it supposed to be it's metal armor? Because it doesn't look like it most of the time.
Weapons.
Yeah, he makes like tonfa like looking things that he uses to slice open Goro.
I was saying this is another good example of like Goro. I like the idea that this guy rips two of Goro's arms off, and he's like, now we're even, and they can fight fair, kind of a thing. But Goro dies in like 4 seconds.
Yeah, this is actually a whole area where there's a string of like disappointing kills. They're cool to look at. Like Goro getting sliced and then getting his eye stabbed was pretty badass.
Yeah, but it should have been. He could have been fighting any of the other characters.
Yeah, exactly. Like it wasn't like
Baraka would make
I wouldn't mind if this was like Kintaro.
Yeah.
Make it Kintaro, I don't give a shit. Like that.
Yeah.
If you want the forearm
Kintaro
thing.
was always kind of like more also of a throwaway than Goro was.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like,
where's Shiva?
Maybe in Mortal Kombat 2, which would probably not get made.
Oh man, I wish he'd
unless it does. I don't know. I think the movie might.
So so then they cut back to the other fight. Sonya Blade is under rocks, and Jax is like, "I can't help you. My arms are shitty." And then fucking Shang Tsung just kills Kung Lao.
Yeah,
he like
just
sucks the
out
soul
of
out
nowhere.
of him. Which we know.
And he's like, he sucks the soul out of him, which I was just
Cabal
like,
tells
he's
Liu
getting
Kang.
a good head.
By the way, shouldn't Liu Kang already know this because he knows about all this? Shouldn't our entry into this world, Cole Young, be giving this information?
Also, Cabal's the one who's like,
he's about to get his soul sucked. I love the scream right before they die.
Why would he say that?
Looking back at my whole thing about how there's actually a combat cut coming, I feel like because this character doesn't have a mouth that moves, he's under a mask, I think they just gave him a bunch of random dialogue that they put in later because they cut whole sections out. And you lost that whole section where Shang Tsung's looking, getting older and older, and he needs a soul to refresh himself.
Yeah.
I think you lost all that, because then you have Cabal being, hey, Liu Kang, you know about the soul-sucking power?
No.
So anyway, Shang Tsung, he's like really going in on it.
Yeah. You know what? So, a lot of people think that every single movie now is just chopped up and ruined.
Yes.
Because of the Zack Snyder and because of the Star Wars movies, because that's what's happened there. Sometimes movies are just bad. But since this is Warner Brothers, maybe this is a case where they tampered too much and fucked it too much.
It's one of two things. There's like reshoots and they rush things, which gets very clear.
Happens all the time.
Or it's an evil plot, or both.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Based off what these people have written or not written, I'm just gonna say this is probably just a bad movie from the get go.
Yeah.
Like I don't think you're gonna I know everyone's saying release the Ayer cut of Suicide Squad, and I'm like, I don't think you're getting a good movie. I think you're just gonna get a slightly less bad movie. I don't know if sometimes movies are just bad, guys. I know they get worse, but sometimes they can just be bad, and this is bad. So Jax's powers turn on, and what are his powers, guys?
His powers are to make his robot arms better.
Yeah.
More roboting.
They level up.
Which I don't understand how that's even really a power.
My thing is, let's say he didn't have the arms, because he was already like a dude. Yeah. So, and this is where I kind of thought that the Hagana, or whatever the power thing is called, it enhances things you need in your time of need. So his arms weren't working, so it gave him super arms. Kano's eye was messed up from Reptile, whatever, so it gave him a super eye. And those are his powers. Or Liu Kang was trying to fight this guy off him and had his hands and burned a guy, or tried to heal someone's wound. Or like that makes sense, but it's never explained.
Yeah.
So now it's just like he gets laser eye, like it's like a grab bag.
So Kung Lao is his power magic hat and teleporting?
And teleporting.
Yes.
But it's like Jax's power is, hey, we built you some shitty arms, so when your power kicks in to make good arms.
That's funny. So like he shows up and they're like, oh, he's already amputated. Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh shit, we forgot to mention during the Goro fight, his daughter goes, Dad, use the uppercut.
Yeah, but it's like edited in there.
Because you find out in the MMA scene when Mick comes up from Rocky and he's like, hey, who's your ring manager? Who's in your corner? My daughter's in that corner.
Yeah.
Or my younger sister, or my girlfriend. I don't really know who the hell she is. She's just there. And then she doesn't stop the fight or help. She doesn't throw in the towel. It's like a Rocky IV situation.
Yeah, and he gets his ass handed to him.
He gets his ass kicked. Has to tap out.
Yeah.
Tap out.
Yeah.
The Mortal Kombat logo, tap out.
That was what Nude actually said was
it looked like a gold tap out.
His armor looked like a tap out shirt, with the tribal. Yeah, it looked like one of those.
I like the idea that like the the emblem appears anywhere on your body, and we're talking about like someone has it on their nipple or like that. I like the idea that someone has it on their tramp stamp or like on their pubis mound. It's like, hey, here's my where's your mark? Hold on.
Yeah,
hold on.
It's on my anus.
No, but like, and why isn't his daughter and wife thing traumatized from any of this? They're just, they're fine with him getting his, you know what, they hate him.
They're fine also watching him slice open a giant forearm, dude, spray blood everywhere, and then stab his brain.
Yeah.
They're like, this is fine.
Yeah, and then they're like,
the girl's
cool,
like, cool armor.
suit. Yeah,
Also,
what does he say? Awesome suit, Dad.
I forgot to mention, because this is important. So he got assistance in the Goro fight. Yeah. And then he goes to fight everyone else, and then Kung Lao dies saving Cole, because Cole sucks.
Yeah.
This dude cannot get into a fight on his own.
Because Raiden shows up to spirit everyone away to the void to like, hey, we need to, now that everyone has their powers, let's figure this out. And I guess they stop Cole from going, and then Kung Lao dies, so Cole can live. And that's when the movie's kind of like, when you think about it, when you're thinking it back in your head, it's all out of order. Yeah. Because it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
And that's when he has his soul sucked out. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. Right then and there. And then they go to the realm between realms.
Yeah, which is just a white
area.
White area.
Why not?
It's like in
Harry
Potter.
Yeah, and then
Matrix.
This is like, okay, guys, we're all going to fight one person. And then I'm like, oh, this is the tournament. And then you said it's not the tournament.
It's not the tournament.
No, then they devise a plot to basically do what the bad guys have been doing. Like they're like, okay, we're gonna roll on everybody.
So what is it? Jax goes after Reiko.
Yeah,
which we'll talk about that.
Yeah,
scene.
which that is a mess.
Sonya wants to go after Melina. I did like what Melina's like. Oh, you're not a champion. Fuck you. She doesn't even kill her. She just leaves. So Sonya goes after Kano, and I called this in the beginning of the movie. I'm like, she's gonna kill Kano and take his mark. What is it? Cole goes to fight Melina.
Yeah.
Picks the girl.
Which
and then
I'll fight the easy one.
I'll fight the easy one because I constantly, and then he needs help for that fight.
Yeah.
And then Liu Kang goes after Cabal.
Yeah.
Because I guess he wants a rematch
Again,
or something.
Why not just all team up on one dude? You know where they all are.
Yeah, this isn't like the tournament. There's no rules or whatnot. And then this is the weirdest thing. So like, I don't, Cabal and Melina, are they just back at like the temple?
I don't know.
I don't know what that area was. It looked like shit.
Yo, I don't remember.
But then
we watched this like a couple hours ago.
Jax and Reiku go to the pit.
Yeah,
the bridge above the pit.
They go to the pit, and this is where the bad editing comes in.
And I think I can fix this and minimize how bad it is in post.
Well, so you have Reiko teleports in.
Yeah.
He's teleported. So if you have like for instance, if this is the bridge,
yes,
he teleports in over here.
Yeah,
and he's facing this way. Yeah. Right. But then all of a sudden, it cuts to Jax facing
the other way,
Reiko, and he's completely turned around in an instant. There's no way he could be facing
the other
that way.
side of the bridge, or they move
on the other side, and then he's facing the completely wrong way. Like they fucked the 180s complete. And I was like, wait, we got to go back and see that because I was like, did they just like completely mess that whole thing up? And they did. The editing is like all over the place.
They get into a fight, which is okay, and then he does the Rikio thing, which will be fine. But you're fighting above the pit.
So that's the thing. That was one of the. I was like, oh, he's gonna fall in the pit. Like there's spikes everywhere. They're showing the spikes and everything. Yeah. And then he claps his head, like in the game, which is fine. But he never goes in the pit. Why have the pit if you're not gonna knock a guy in the pit?
It's almost like we're missing a scene where Raikou. What is it?
Raikou. Nathan Jones.
Raikou.
It seems like there's a scene where like someone else is on the bridge and he knocked that person in, and then Jax.
What it should have been is Jax does the arm rip fatality, like how he does in the game,
and throws him in.
And then kicks him in the pit. So then his stump falls, and that would have been awesome. Mm-hmm. But instead he claps his head, which was cool. It looked awesome, like he was a clap. But then it was just. That's it.
And then Sonya goes to fight Kano at her trailer, and she's like,
why did Kano go back to the trailer to see if she's there?
I think Raiden teleported them, because he teleports Reiko in. So Raiden is just plucking them and throwing them into fights.
Oh, is that what's happening?
I think so.
I never
this is
put
why
that
I
together.
This is why I thought it was the tournament, because I feel like he shouldn't be allowed to do that otherwise.
Then why not teleport them all into space or into the core of the earth?
Because he does the whole
into the ocean.
The whole Raiden thing in every continuity is like, I can't interfere, but then he kind of does.
But then he does.
But this feels like a big interfering.
Yeah, but it's fine if he interferes if Shang Tsung is also cheating.
Also, if you're gonna have the pit, why not have a guy on fire in the back fighting another guy for no reason and never explain it?
Blaze and what are their names?
Blaze and I forget who the other guy is.
Yeah, I forget it. It's something weird.
So then Sonya's fight with him, it's like she's hiding and like doing some Home Alone shit. I'm like, what
and the trailer looks just like the one from Kill Bill.
Yeah, they tried to do the Kill Bill fight.
That whole fight scene is straight out of Kill Bill. It's
and then it ends with the garden gnome going through Kano's eye.
Yeah, she stabs him with a garden gnome.
And she gets his symbol, but I think Kano, if they ever make a sequel to this, which I fucking
he's gonna come back with a robot eye.
He's gonna come back with a robot eye. They're gonna bring him back to life. Because even in this, at the end, skipping ahead, at the end of the movie, they're like, "Oh, you killed him, but I can always bring him back," or something like that. Yeah. And then I don't even remember the fight.
Well, that's
between
like maybe that's when they're gonna bring in like Quan Chi and Shinnok.
Yeah.
And then
So we get like Liu Kang does his like fire dragon fatality on Cabal, which is kind of cool.
Which that part was kind of cool because Cabal actually, you see him kind of turn it into bones. It's a little bit quick.
Was that his animality, or did he do that?
It was his fatality in 2.
Yeah. So he can turn into a dragon, but he can also make a dragon out of fire.
I like the idea that they dropped an arcade machine on him.
That'd be funny.
That would have been pretty funny, actually.
I think.
Yeah, so then Cole's getting his ass kicked by Melina because he sucks. And then Sonya saves him with her magical ring shooting power.
She shoots the sonic rings.
They don't explain where she got her sonic rings
She manifests just randomly. I thought you had to work up to it.
She beat Kano, and then, see, that's a weird thing is everybody else has to earn their thing. Sonya gets the dragon tattoo. She becomes the girl with the dragon tattoo.
And she just
has it. She doesn't have any dire situation where she needs to shoot sonic rings. I guess it's just like, they're like, you know what, we'll throw you one. It took you a long time.
It's kind of like you have no idea how to do the mind wipe Jedi thing, and then you just do it for no reason in Force Awakens. You just know how to use that. You just know how to. I know why. It's because she's stunning and brave, so she knows how to do it right away.
On the Immortal CD from the guys of Lords of Acid, who now follow me on Twitter. Thank you for that. That is CD number 1 in my car. We talked about it.
In my car too.
We've talked about it numerous times. The Mortal Kombat CD that was around when the second game came out. That's not the movie soundtrack. Where, they came up with the song Techno Syndrome, the Mortal Kombat theme. The Sonya Blade song is probably the best song.
It's pretty good.
It's probably
it's my second favorite.
Johnny Cage and Chinese Ninja Warrior. Sub-Zero.
That's my favorite one.
That's a good one.
So please play that. Mind you, that album, Street Cleaner, who's one of our friends who did, he made a video game, and he's a synthwave artist, musician. He took the trailer for this movie and put that music in it. Way better.
Yeah.
The music in this movie.
It's cringe.
It's awful.
Is mediocre at worst and awful.
I don't like that.
It's mediocre at best. It's just awful.
So you know what it reminds me of?
Generic as shit.
When the Aeronauts did the trailer, and it's the "You Spin Me Round," but it's the sinister remix of "You Spin Me Round." But that's what this is. But with Mortal Kombat, it's like dun 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 dun. And
when I first recognized the theme is when Liu Kang does his bicycle kick.
Yeah,
which is a little bit more in a movie that's trying to be like.
It's giving me shivers because I'm thinking about it. It's making my hairs stand up.
Stop staring at me when you do that. Anyway, in a movie that's it's weird. Like the fighting is a little bit more realistic. Like there's less wires and stuff, but then the powers are way more cartoony than the old ones. So why not just have him bicycle kick for like 10 minutes like the first movie?
Yeah. Raiden should do where he's like where he flies across the screen.
Yeah. I think it's all gibberish.
Yeah, usually.
So Raiden.
So
everyone has powers.
Whose kick do you like more, Justin? Liu Kang's bicycle kick or Tommy from the Power Rangers movies?
Where he's like Sigya.
Oh, where he does the sideways ones. It goes like.
Yeah. Which one do you like more?
Probably the bicycle kick, but from the first movie.
What about it do you like more than the other?
I like it looks like he's actually riding a bike, and he goes.
No. Say the kickiness.
The kickiness. Oh, you're making fun of mint salad.
Of course,
that's what I'm setting you up for.
Okay.
I still have people commenting, bitching about her, but I also think they're in love with her.
I think that the guy who plays Cole, is gonna have I guarantee you he's either going to not be on Twitter for the next 5 or 6 days, or whatever, because I don't think.
You know who he was Shatterstar in Deadpool 2.
The one that
the one who dies right away.
I love that part
goes
of the
into
movie.
The helicopter.
With the X-Force is so funny.
He's from Planet Mojo, right?
Yeah.
He's like one of those characters no one gives a shit about.
Yeah. So Melina gets killed by Sonya. And it's like, oh, well, there goes the whole, like, katana
she shoots her rings, which are just a basic attack, but they blow her fucking stomach.
Yeah, the kiss of death is her, like, fatality.
Yeah, that's the thing. There was no kiss of death. Like, you could
Mortal Kombat Annihilation figured out a way to use that.
They might have been like, hey, there's like 5 people that die by fire in this movie. We need to we need to kind of tone down the fire deaths.
And by the way, my plan of, hey, let's all gang up and get them, they were like, oh, we'll gang up and get Sub-Zero later. Like, they already have, they're going to be...
Oh, yeah. So it might seem like the movie's ending, and you're probably wondering, like, wasn't fucking Scorpion in this movie?
Well, you keep seeing flashbacks, or like, flash, whatever it is.
Yeah. What's his name? Cole's in the mirror, and he sees Scorpion doing the fucking robot and shit or whatever. It's like really
great
weird.
ancestor.
And what's his name is in Hell, the Nether Realm.
Oh, Raiden gave Cole the harpoon, like the spear tip to the harpoon.
The digging trowel.
Which made me angry because I thought, no, please don't make it like Cole, you are going to be the new Scorpion.
We all so
I was
Cole,
like, no, not this guy.
Cole goes to fight Sub-Zero at the MMA gym for some reason, which is all covered in...
they cover in ice.
Which is all covered in ice.
It's because Sub-Zero stole his family.
Right.
And brought them to the MMA gym because they already had the fight at the barn.
Yeah, you couldn't have 2 fights at the barn. That'd be weird. So he freezes them there. They're all frozen. You think they're dead. Cole shows up and he's got the thing. And like we all were like, if this motherfucker turns into Scorpion, I'm gonna fucking throw my head through a wall.
Unfortunately, that made a lot of sense. Of course, in the trailer, you knew it wasn't him.
It would make more sense. I agree with you. But based on how much I hate this fucking character, I don't want him being Scorpion.
I feel bad because I don't like people who are in movies and stuff. They don't deserve to be like ripped on and made fun of and shit. But this guy,
to be clear, we're not
one of the worst characters.
The actor.
Yeah, it's the character. Cole is just
and you know what? Like I
awful.
said, he was in the unreleased season of Mortal Kombat Legacy. I want to see that. He's in it.
It's just the thing is like he's unnecessary. He literally doesn't win one fight on his own. His powers are the stupidest.
Because here you think he's going to fight Sub-Zero, you think he's going to turn into Scorpion, and then just Scorpion shows up.
For no reason.
Yeah.
Get over here!
Yeah, what?
Out of nowhere, too. There's no explanation.
It's not like Sub-Zero beat him down and then he comes up from the Nether Realm or whatever. He just kind of throws a spear in from off screen. He's like, hey, it's Scorpion.
Yeah, because like, so...
You find out later that, like, they're like, how did he get here? And Raiden's like, I don't know. But that's not a good enough answer.
No, because it's like, all right, so... What needed to happen for Scorpion to return? Could he just return whatever? In which case, why didn't he just do it centuries ago?
Yeah, he's been waiting 300 years.
It doesn't make any sense.
Which means what? It means that Raiden kidnapped Scorpion's daughter, brought her to
save the daughter.
No, kidnapped. There might be another next of kin. You don't know. Brought this orphan child to become a monk in the Light Temple.
Yeah.
Flash forward 300 years, he just let Cole become an MMA fighter. Like, I'm done taking care of this family now. See ya.
It made more sense in like the first Mortal Kombat movie where Liu Kang just became like disillusioned with the Order of Light.
Yeah.
Thought it was all bullshit. Yeah. So yeah, Scorpion and Sub-Zero fight, and it's pretty awesome. Yeah, they're doing everything you want them to do.
It was cool. Like the part when he slices Scorpion and freezes the blood.
I love making the sword out of ice.
The spear looked awesome. It was like a hook with like the what's it called? Like the harpoon with like the chain was like barbed. But it looked pretty cool.
Would it be better if it was a snake that went?
No, I said. You said the thing where what's it called? When I said like, oh, at least it's not a snake. And he's like, I like to imagine the Scorpion's wife digging in the garden with that snake instead.
It's like,
yeah.
I wouldn't mind if like the spear tip like looked like a dragon head or something.
Yeah.
Like I would have been fine with that. But the fact that it was just like a snake in his hand was weird.
It's weird that it comes out of his hand, like his hand warps, and it's like
it doesn't make any sense.
And it chases Johnny Cage,
and it's a pterodactyl for some reason. Like it's a snaky pterodactyl.
Yeah. So they're fighting, and it's like awesome. And meanwhile, Cole's trying to break his family out, and his metal suit is buckling healing again.
Yeah, and he's just punching
he's
his
like,
wife.
oh, I gotta punch him. Like, how do you know they're not gonna like shatter
But
if
I was
you
like,
punch him?
I'm pretty sure if you're punching, even if they're stuck in ice, you're punching full force with Tonfa.
Yeah.
Like your wife's probably like, like in there just getting punched.
And then they all get thrown into an MMA octagon because all the amazing levels and backgrounds and all the Mortal Kombat games. Where do I want to see Scorpion and Sub-Zero fight? A frozen octagon.
This part also has more fucked up editing because there's a part where Scorpion and Sub-Zero are both in this MMA octagon, and Cole is supposed to be in there with him, and he's like punching his wife to get her out of the thing.
Okay.
But the thing is, they keep cutting, and there's no way where they show Scorpion that Cole could be anywhere near him.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you see he looks and Cole's there punching, and then it cuts back and they're standing like right next to each other.
Yeah.
And it's like, where the hell? So I was like, wait, what is going on? Where are they right now? What is happening? It's just confusing.
And then finally, after all these years, we got one in Mortal Kombat Annihilation, but it sucked. We're finally getting a good Scorpion versus Sub-Zero fight. In their costumes. They could have been a little bit more colorful, but whatever.
Yeah.
In their costumes with all their powers. And then Cole's got to interfere with it.
And this is why
it becomes a 2-on-1.
Yeah.
No one wants to see a handicap match between Scorpion and Sub-Zero.
Endurance match, they call it in the Mortal Kombat.
Whatever. They want to see Scorpion,
it is an endurance match, huh?
Sub-Zero in their costumes with their powers.
Not
the fight
Cole
in
Young?
the beginning was good, but he didn't have all his powers.
Yeah.
Imagine a Cole Young action figure.
Do you think they're going to try and do a thing where they incorporate this character into future stuff?
What I wonder is
this going to be like Harley Quinn or Jessica Priest and Spawn or Diggle from Arrow?
Do you think that this guy like knew like when he took the character and everything that he was like, people are gonna fucking hate my character?
Well, no, I'm guessing like whatever he did on season 3 of Legacy impressed the producers enough.
Not enough to make him a real character.
Well, that's the thing. I think he just got screwed over on the writing. Like, he seems like an okay actor, but his character just sucks.
He could have been Johnny Cage, and I would have been fine with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this could have easily been Johnny Cage. Anyway, Scorpion and Sub-Zero fight. Scorpion kind of does his fatality.
Where he's supposed to rip off his face and shoot fire.
Yeah, instead his like face is all skeletal, and
his face starts melting.
I think kind of like as he's like shooting the fire, the face is like burning away. But then he doesn't like completely incinerate Sub-Zero.
He's supposed to be like Sub-Zero's supposed to turn into a skeleton, but he's just kind of burned.
Yeah, and he wasn't even really like all that badly burned.
He seemed fine.
He looked actually like he's fine afterward.
It looked like he could have just put his ice power on him and healed himself.
Well,
a
what
little bit.
I thought was like, okay, I guess this is how they're making him Noob Saibot, is that he basically like burned him till he was like kind of charred.
He started to look more like Noob when he took some of his armor off. It was like all black underneath. He looked kind of like
And they show him
Noob.
sneaking into like the black smoke stuff.
That was just their. So the good guys had the lightning teleporting. The bad guys had the black smoke teleporting.
Right.
That had nothing to do with
his
Noob.
powers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, and then Scorpion's like, well, I'm back now. I'm glad I saved you. I gotta go. And then he just disappears.
Yep.
And then Raiden and them show up, and they're like, we're all best friends.
There's a whole thing like, I got out of hell, and I used hell's fire to kill Sub-Zero. Anyway, take care of your family. Oh, by the way, he talks to Cole and Cole's family that get free somehow. I forgot. Because it's not like
he punches the floor and fire goes everywhere. And it
he
melts
used the fire.
He gets them out with the fire punch.
Which we were saying too. We'll get to it.
But he starts talking to them in Japanese, and they don't speak fucking Japanese.
And they don't say anything back either, so I feel like they were probably like just smile and nod.
Maybe he made a special hearing aid in his ear right at that moment that translated it.
Maybe that's part of his powers.
Like a babble fish.
Oh yeah, some
his
people.
powers is just
some people have multiple
He's like,
powers.
I have like metal skin. I can also understand Scorpion.
Oh, if you have Japanese blood, you can understand Japanese.
Yeah.
Right.
Did Scorpion do his teleport move?
No, where he goes off the screen. And
he did Annihilation. They did do.
He was like, suckers.
Yeah, they did do Sub-Zero making like a clone of his body out of ice and jumping away.
That was cool.
Like I said, they're like technically doing the things you want to see. I mentioned this in like the Alien vs. Predator review. That movie technically gave you the stuff you wanted to see, but it packaged it in like this garbage where it's like, all right, I guess that's kind of what I wanted.
Scorpion
but
went to hell. Where did he get his clothing from? Did he make? Was he like?
I don't know.
Sewing down there They said he's in the deepest, dankest pit of hell, the Netherrealm.
Yeah, why did he go to the deep? He didn't seem like that bad of a guy.
I don't know. Maybe he was like a real asshole before he had his family.
Maybe.
And he just, like, he killed people or some shit, I guess. I don't know. So
maybe. Well, in the original one, like, we didn't know what kind of person he was in, like, the original games.
Yeah.
I think that's why they added the whole he was tricked.
When he died, he was wearing, like a samurai, Japanese 1800s outfit, like Ghost of Tsushima kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then when you see him again, he's wearing, like, that, modern Robin hooded scorpion from, like, Mortal Kombat 10 or whatever it is. It's like, where'd he get that?
Hell.
Hell?
The Netherrealm, yeah.
Hot Topic?
Yeah.
Maybe there's just like clothing in hell. Like it's like
hey,
RPG
before you
stuff.
go. like if this is Spawn, I get it.
Yeah. So yeah, then this again, apparently this is not the tournament.
Yeah.
And Shang Tsung's like, I'm gonna come back with an army. And it's like, well, don't you have to win the tournament first?
Yeah,
like, what is this army shit?
This is the whole thing. This is the if they win one more time, Earth's ruined.
Yeah.
So they just don't have the tournament. They're just being assholes to each other.
So this is the journey begins.
Yeah,
of
pretty
this
much.
new Mortal Kombat series.
Right. And then all the good guys show up late.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Oh,
and then
maybe Cole is that guy in The Journey Begins who's always standing like this, and he has the hat. He has like the armored shoulder, a baseball cap, and glasses.
He's like a background character.
Yeah,
I really
or
wish
he
they
was
brought
the 50-year-old karate dad.
I really wish they brought plaid shirt guy back from the first Mortal Kombat. So the guy who was in the background with the plaid shirt. It's like,
Hey.
who's he fighting?
Or those weird twins that are like, yeah.
I mentioned that in my Mortal Kombat Makes No Sense video. When Shang Tsung was like, I get to challenge whoever I want, he should have picked plaid shirt guy. I think he could have taken him. Like, why did he pick like Sonya and them? Was like, yeah, that plaid. Did Goro kill? No, he's still alive. Like, get plaid shirt guy in here and just blow his head up. So then this, because everything wants to be the Avengers.
Yeah.
Everything wants to be Marvel. This is now, it's less of an adaptation of the games and more of a recreation of Defenders of the Realm, where it's like, we're a superhero team and we're going to go on adventures and fight those bad guys.
We need to find more superheroes.
We need to recruit more superheroes.
I'm looking to make a team.
Yeah. We're going to want you to join the Mortal Kombat Initiative or something, which feels like real dated at this point.
The combatants.
Yeah, and then it ends with Cole going, I have to go to...
Oh, and he's back at the MMA gym that should be super water damaged because of all the ice.
It has all the same posters. They should all be warped and crinkled.
Everything was fine, and I was like, this place is going to... Hopefully they have, like, flood insurance because Sub-Zero just froze everything. It's going to be all mildew.
Oh, I would love if, like, the Mick character, the old man, comes in when it's all ice, and he's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, what did you do to my gym?
So then the ultimate fuck you. He's like, I gotta go to California. What's out there? It's who? And it's like Cole's
who?
Cole's gonna recruit Johnny Cage, and it's modern Johnny Cage with the belt buckle and the poster.
No, that whole ending scene is the corniest shit. So
like that, they wanted that to be their like Batman Begins.
Yeah,
there's this guy. Oh, I'll look into it.
He's like, hey, Cole, when you want to fight? Sorry, man. I don't do that anymore.
But now we're going to have an issue with the second movie where now there's an actual tournament. Shang Tsung's going to bring back all the people that died in this one to be cybernetic or more scary than before. Mm-hmm. And now you're left with this thing like, oh, if anyone dies, they just come back, and these movies never end now, and they're awful.
Oh, and that's kind of what happens in the games, but it's like in the games you care less.
Yeah, well, the games are, games.
Well, remember the storylines weren't that important in the early games.
Yeah.
It was just, hey, here's why you're fighting, and then based on who wins, the story changes. You find out in the next game who actually won.
Yeah.
Street Fighter, the movie's better than this.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat, as much as I was crapping on this one, even though I love this movie.
No, I love the original
love this movie,
one.
but we all can admit the story makes no sense.
It's ridiculous, but it's still,
way better.
The characters also,
and Paul W. Anderson
never
never got better. I heard Monster Hunter.
You know what?
Is generic garbage till the last 10 minutes where apparently it looks like the game.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Kano to come back.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this Kano and Cabal holiday special you want to set up.
Yeah, I'm excited for that too. Yeah, you know what? Like I said with Hellboy, how they introduced that character in the second movie, they just said, oh yeah, we sent him to Alaska. Because like we now knew the world, we didn't need him anymore.
What?
I would love if they were like, hey guys, Cole and his family, their plane blew up on their way to meet Johnny Cage and they're all dead right now.
This could be, the sequel to this could be the movie that we want. because it's already.
What is this?
They introduced everybody.
This feels like a comic that comes out before a movie, like a tie-in comic.
No, I mean honestly, this entire thing too. The movie itself didn't look like a theater movie. It looked honestly something that would have been on either Netflix presents Mortal Kombat or. It looked like a movie on a streaming service. Yeah. And there's movies that I've seen
is this out in theaters? Or is it just
it's out in theaters. It was meant for theaters.
Did you see that movie what's it called? Extraction, I think it was with Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah,
and it's on Netflix. That movie legit looks like it could be in theaters easily. The way it was shot and
everything. Stuff that Marvel's doing on Disney Plus looks like it could be in theaters.
Every single place in this movie looked like a sound.
Speaking of Marvel, how do Jax's hands look this bad? After years of Iron Man suit and even the Winter Soldier right now, which by the way, the Winter Soldier's arms look more like Jax from the early games. I know they wanted the more modern day Jax, but I would have rathered
So that was the thing. His skeleton arms looked okay. Yeah. They looked fine.
Those are scary.
Yeah, they were creepy looking. But then when his arms start transforming, when that happened, I was already so all right, this movie's so I'm sorry, but it's so
things
stupid.
happen in this movie, and you're like, oh, okay, that happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to sum up, we're gonna go through each character, and we're gonna decide if they're cool or crap with a K.
Okay.
Both the Ks?
Yeah, both with Ks.
Okay.
Both with Ks. Okay. Louis Tan as Cole Young. Cool or crap?
Crap.
Yes. Jessica McNamee as Sonya Blade.
Cool.
Until her powers.
I like the one from the 90s better.
She's back in the new game.
Yeah.
Josh Lawson as Kano.
Cool.
Whatchamacallit? Makad Brooks as Jax.
Cool. I like Jax.
Cool.
I thought he was fine. It's just his his power was dumb. That's the only thing. But I mean, he clapped the head. That was badass.
Yeah. Sebanobu Asano as Raiden. Crap.
I'm kind of indifferent towards him.
Indifferent with how are you going to spell that? Indifferent.
Was that the guy from the Raid?
No, Sub-Zero I think was. From
Sub-Zero's from the Raid.
So I was getting every time he was on screen, I was getting some serious Kenya Sawada vibes from every line he read.
Yeah.
You could tell one, I mean, nothing against he doesn't speak English or whatever, but his acting wasn't at all good.
I'm going crap.
Going crap. Yeah, I'm gonna give him crap.
He was
Joe Taslim as Sub-Zero. Cool. I guess.
Yeah, he was fine. I thought he was a good Sub-Zero.
I think he was cool as ice.
Oh!
I did a review of that on someone else's channel recently.
That's nice.
Hiroyuki Sanada as Scorpion.
Cool.
But only for that first scene.
I liked him as later Scorpion.
I don't think that was him. I think that was just all a stunt double until he took his mask off.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
Yeah, but you're talking about the character.
Yeah, I guess the character.
Him as Scorpion. And also, that's one thing I guess a lot of people were complaining about him saying, "Get over here" in the trailer.
It didn't sound that bad.
They changed it, and it sounds good.
Yeah, it didn't sound that bad.
It sounded in the trailer, it sounded like he was like, "Get over here."
That's a couple questions. Why would he speak English? And why, and for that, when he speaks Japanese later, and why did Sub-Zero, who speaks Chinese and Japanese, speak English in the beginning of the movie?
Chin Han as Shang Tsung. Cool or crap?
Crap compared to the one we already have.
So original Shang Tsung is way better.
Yeah.
But I think that the soul sucking was pretty cool.
I like that they use the green stuff.
He does the soul sucking.
Yeah.
Ludi Lin as Liu Kang. I thought he was cool.
Yeah, he was cool. Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
Max Hung as Kung Lao.
I was crap.
Oh, crap.
I think Kung Lao in fight scenes is awesome, but his acting is awful. You could tell he's not a main he's not used to
Sissy Stringer as Melina.
Cool. I liked Melina.
You giving her cool?
Yeah, I liked Melina.
Nah, I'm giving crap.
Really?
I'm giving crap. It didn't feel like Melina.
Yeah, I thought
she was pretty good.
I'm going crap too.
It just didn't feel like Melina. I guess I can't really see Melina without Katana because that's what that character's based around.
I thought
it's kind of like Mortal Kombat Annihilation where they just threw her in to fight Sonya.
If she would have bit someone's face off, I would have given it a cool.
Yeah.
I thought when she opened her mouth and the teeth and her face was ripping, that was pretty gross.
It's just this version of the character doesn't work for me. I think we needed to know what a Tarkatan was and who Katana was for this character to work.
I agree with that.
Let me see. Mel Johnson as Natara.
Crap.
Really? I'm giving her cool.
Nah, that
it's not
sucked.
cool at all.
I thought she looked cool. She was only there to get killed, and I thought she accomplished it pretty well.
Didn't look like Natara.
When she comes in, Shang Tsung's like, "Oh, isn't she like hot, guys?" And everyone's like,
but I was like, yeah, she looks actually awful. Like,
yeah, he's like, "Oh, isn't she beautiful?"
Well, he's from like a scary monster world. That's probably hot over there.
He should calm
First
down
off,
with the workplace harassment.
She didn't so much have like bat wings as she had like pterodactyl wings.
Yeah,
and that was weird. Also, Natara,
you wanted like a Rouge the Bat.
Well, no, like Natara in the game looks like a vampire. She looked like just some girl with wings who was kind of like she didn't say anything. Like it was like weird. Then she got cut in half.
Goro.
I think Goro was cool.
I think they used him like shit, but I think he was cool.
Badly used, but he looked cool.
Yeah.
I'm going crap.
You going crap?
I wanted a better Goro.
Yeah.
I'm not happy with the intensity.
I like original Goro better.
I think he looked fine. I like the voice actor who did him. And they wasted him.
Yeah, like you wanted this like the puppet CG.
Yeah.
mix.
Well, no, I just liked how I think Goro in the original movie was more of Goro. Like how he had character. He talked.
Yo, yeah.
100%. This one was just Goro's a big blunt object that we throw at the main guy, and
Daniel Nelson is Cabal. I'm giving a cool.
Yeah, I like
giving
Cabal.
a cool.
Yeah, I mean, it was obvious that he was just some dude in a mask that they put his lines in later, but he was cool.
Nathan Jones is Raiko, the character we can't name. I'm giving crap.
Honestly,
sucked.
Crap.
He made really weird faces every time, and then he just was lame. Like,
and I guess lastly is Reptile. I'm giving that a crap.
Reptile was a crap.
Yeah.
Crap.
So this movie, cool or crap? Crap. What were you even thinking?
There's cool scenes.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: if you want to watch Mortal Kombat, watch the animated movie.
Yeah, no,
you know
definitely.
what?
What was it? Scorpion's Revenge?
Yes.
That was awesome.
The last 3 games, maybe you're not like, you don't want to play the games. Go on YouTube. They cut all the cutscenes together. You can watch. I guarantee you, I don't really like doing that.
Like Mortal Kombat 11, the movie on YouTube.
Yes, I guarantee you will have more fun watching that than this movie.
I agree.
Watch the original movie. Annihilation's more fun to laugh at.
Oh, and also The Journey Begins. Watch The Journey Begins.
You can skip The Journey Begins. You can skip Defenders of the Realm. And I guess that's it from us here. Thank you guys for this little reunion to talk about Mortal Kombat. I hope to God you don't get this video kicked off YouTube.
Yeah, right.
Please.
If not, if we do, Guten Tag, Deutschland.
And remember to like, share, and subscribe. Check out the podcast. Stop drinking it like that, you asshole. Check out the podcast feed right now at hackthemovies.com. You can listen to the audio version of this in case Kieran gets the episode nuked again.
I don't know how it was me.
It wasn't you. It was Artisan Entertainment.
Fuck them.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our other videos and Patreon page.